What would you do if you saw someone being attacked right in front of your child? Would you risk everything to step in, or would you look away? Tonight's story is about a single father who had to make that choice. A quiet dinner with his daughter turned into a moment that would change 3 lives forever. Stay with me until the end, because what happens the very next day will leave you speechless. It was a Friday evening, the kind of night where most families filled the booths of neighborhood restaurants. Daniel, a single dad in his mid-30s, sat across from his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Their table was tucked in the corner, where Lily could doodle on the kids' menu while Daniel sipped his coffee. For him, these dinners weren't just about food. They were about holding onto the one constant joy in his life, time with his little girl. Daniel had been through storms. His wife's passing had left him raising Lily on his own. He promised himself that no matter how hard it got, Lily would always feel safe and loved. And tonight seemed just like any other night, until they heard the sound of a chair crashing against the floor. Across the room, a young woman in her 20s was cornered by 2 men. Their voices were low but laced with menace. One of them grabbed her arm hard enough that she winced. Diners shifted uncomfortably in their seats, whispering, but no one moved to help. Lily tugged at her dad's sleeve, her wide eyes brimming with concern. "Daddy, can we help her?" That single question pierced through Daniel's chest. He saw fear in his daughter's eyes, but also hope. The kind of hope that believed her dad was strong enough to make things right. Daniel stood up slowly, his chair scraping against the floor. Every eye in the restaurant turned toward him as he walked across the room. His heart pounded, but he remembered the promise he'd made to himself and to Lily, that she would grow up believing kindness and courage were never wasted. "Hey," Daniel said firmly, his voice calm but steady. "Let her go." The men sneered, one of them stepping forward. "This isn't your business." But Daniel didn't flinch. He positioned himself between the men and the woman. "It is now." The tension thickened. For a moment, Daniel thought they might swing at him, but maybe it was the way he squared his shoulders, maybe it was the quiet strength in his voice, or maybe it was the watchful eyes of an entire restaurant. Either way, the men backed off, muttering curses as they stormed out the door. The woman collapsed into a chair, trembling. Daniel crouched beside her. "You're safe now," he assured gently. And from across the room, Lily's small voice rang out, relieved, proud, certain. "That's my daddy." Daniel smiled at her, but inside, he felt the weight of what had just happened. He'd stepped in, yes, but something told him this wasn't over. The next morning, Daniel woke early. He tried to push the memory of the night aside, but Lily's words still echoed in his mind. "Daddy, can we help her?" He made pancakes for Lily, her favorite, and tried to pretend everything was normal. But when the doorbell rang, his heart jumped. Standing on his porch was the same young woman from the restaurant. Her name was Emily. She held a paper bag in her hands, her eyes shy but grateful. I just wanted to thank you. You didn't know me, but you stood up for me when no one else did." Daniel invited her in, and Lily ran over immediately. "Are you okay now?" she asked, her small voice full of genuine care. Emily nodded, tears glistening. "Because of your daddy, I am." She handed Lily the bag, fresh muffins from the bakery, a thank you gift for both of you. As they sat together, Emily's story unfolded. She had been harassed for weeks by those same men, former acquaintances who wouldn't leave her alone. She felt cornered, powerless, until last night. Daniel listened quietly, anger simmering beneath his calm exterior, but Lily reached over and held Emily's hand. "You don't have to be scared anymore. Daddy always protects people." In that moment, something shifted. It wasn't just about one night in a restaurant. It was about showing Lily what it meant to stand up, even when it was risky. It was about proving to Emily that there were still good people in the world, people who cared. The 3 of them sat around the kitchen table, an unlikely little circle formed from one moment of courage. Later, when Emily left, Lily hugged her tightly. "You're our friend now," she said with the innocent certainty only a child could carry. And when the door closed, Daniel knelt down to Lily's eye level. "You know," he said softly, "it wasn't just me who helped her last night. It was you. If you hadn't asked me that question, I might have stayed quiet." Lily's face lit up. "So we helped her together." Daniel pulled her into a hug. "Yes, sweetheart, together." That night, as Daniel tucked Lily into bed, he realized something powerful. Bravery doesn't always start with strength. It starts with compassion. And sometimes, the smallest voice in the room can spark the greatest act of courage. And that's the heart of this story. Courage isn't about being fearless, it's about choosing to act when someone else needs you most. Daniel didn't just protect Emily that night. He showed his daughter what it means to be human, to care, to protect, to stand up. So I'll leave you with this question. If you were in that restaurant, what would you have done?